recordings. We're doing this strictly so we can do picks for NFL divisional round playoff.
Because we know you want to hear us.
Yes. In our prior recording for episode 30, we did picks for the wildcard weekend. And Zeus, here's how we did. You were 6 out of 6 for wildcard weekend. Yeah, you picked Cincy, Buffalo, KC, Los Angeles Rams. Where we differed is that you picked Tampa Bay, whereas I picked Philly, and you picked San Fran, whereas I picked Dallas. So it's 64 right now. All right. So probably the most hyped game of the weekend. We're going to go with that first. Buffalo visits Kansas City. Who do you pick to win that one?
You should have gone with this one last, just because this is probably the harder pick, I think. But let me break it down real fast as to my line of thinking. So I don't think the Chiefs are as unbeatable as they were the last two previous years. I don't know if you agree with me on that, but I don't think they're as unbeatable. And then two, this is a revenge game for Buffalo, right? Because they lost the NFC Championship last year to them. So this is a repeat of AFC. I'm sorry. This is a repeat of the AFC Championship. But I'm going to go ahead and give the edge. Man, I want Buffalo to win. And it's not because I don't want Kansas City to win. It's just between them two, I want Buffalo to win. You know what? I was going to say Kansas City just because I'm going to give them the home field advantage. But I'm going to go ahead and just say Buffalo is going to get the upset.
Yeah, I was going to pick Buffalo too. Not because I think Kansas City is particularly bad or anything. I actually think Kansas City is better than we give them credit for. I think they went through a bit of a rough patch where people started to think, oh, that shine is like worn off. But that game against Pittsburgh, and granted, Pittsburgh isn't the Pittsburgh we're used to, but I mean, Kansas City was just doing whatever they wanted. There was this one shovel pass Mahomes did for the touchdown. I can't remember. To McKinnon, I think it was. Freaking Travis Kelce throwing touchdown passes. It was crazy. I really like Josh Allen. I said it during the last recording. I think I've said this as many times as I could for the last 2 years. Something about the way Josh Allen plays, man. I like it. I wish I could have drafted him for fantasy football, but someone took him before I could. Actually, the winner of our fantasy football league had Josh Allen. He's good, and I hope that we can see the best of him this year. The problem is he plays in the AFC that has Mahomes and Lamar Jackson, who didn't make the playoffs this year. But with those two, it's very easy to get overshadowed. But I pick Buffalo.
And just to go back to the Josh Allen part, I'm going to tell you right now, man, if Aaron Rodgers hadn't done what he did this year, I would not argue. I would not see why Josh Allen is not in the MVP race. He may I haven't seen him all year, so maybe I don't really know 100% what I'm talking about on that end, but I can tell you for sure, based off of that game from last week, that was an MVP performance.
Yeah. And the thing is, anyone that plays like DraftKings or whatever, if it's one of those showdown mode games where it's just like the one game, right? You got to pick Josh Allen as your captain, which is what I did. And I think I won $80 or whatever. It was Buffalo versus, who did they play? Buffalo versus, I don't even remember. Some other team was there.
Raiders.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Raiders.
Cincinnati versus Raiders, right?
Yeah. I don't remember who Buffalo played. But I picked Josh Allen as captain because it was like, the thing with Josh Allen is he's your quarterback, but he's also your running back. Like if you go through Buffalo's games, most games he's the lead rusher in the game. So he's gonna get the touchdown with his feet. He's gonna get it with his arm. He's that good. If KC wins, it'll be because the defense was able to contain him. They played New England. That's what it was. Yeah.
No, they blasted New England.
They blasted New England. If KC wins, it's because the defense is able to contain them. I think Singletary had a better game than he's had most of the season, so that helped them as well. I picked Buffalo.
Perfect.
All right, next one, we'll go to the NFC. 1 seed Green Bay plays against San Francisco. I'll go first on that one. I like San Francisco. I think they hit in their stride at the right time. Green Bay has done a lot of good things, sure, but Green Bay is Green Bay. I think San Francisco is hitting it at the right time. I saw a coaching comparison of the win percentage between Shanahan and LaFleur, and Shanahan is sub 50%. And you'd be like, how is Shanahan sub 50%? Well, yeah, because he had one really good season that they went to the Super Bowl, and then they've had like crappy seasons, and then here they hit their stride right when it matters. Which it's better to be hot at the right time than hot during the regular
good throughout
season.
the whole season.
Yeah, look at Tampa. Tampa didn't win the division last year. They got hot at the right time, and they were the road team all through the playoffs, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. So I picked San Francisco.
I'm actually I was gonna go for I want to say Green Bay, but I have to agree with what you're saying in regards to San Francisco getting. You know what they remind me of? They remind me of Green Bay getting hot at the right time when they won the Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers, or New York Giants getting hot at the right time when they beat the what's it called, the undefeated
Patriots.
New England Patriots, and then the second time that they beat them, because that's the thing, is they would get hot at the right time. They're not one of these teams like, say, Philly, that was hot the whole entire year that they were out, right? And one of the reasons why they won was because they just beat adversity with Carson Wentz
going down. Yeah.
I won't be surprised if Green Bay wins, because I'm not gonna say it's gonna be easy win, but you gotta kind of go with the hot hand, and I kind of gotta agree with you. I think San Fran.
Okay.
I think it might be San Fran that gets it. So I'll go with San Fran on that one. So we're gonna be we're matching on this one. I think we might match the whole time.
Do you want to do ones or twos? Like, so we do 1 point for wild card round. Do you want to do 2 points for divisional, or keep it the same?
Yeah, you need help, so we can do 2.
Okay. All right. So back to the AFC. Number 1 seed Tennessee is hosting the Cincinnati Bengals. Who do you pick?
I'm gonna go with Cincy.
Cincy. Okay.
I'm gonna go because I don't think anybody's giving them a chance whatsoever. But I don't know. For some reason, I feel like with the 17 playoffs, for some reason, I feel like the team with the bye, especially when you clinch that number 1 seed prior to the very last game of the season, it might be for some teams, it might be a little bit of a detriment, right? Because they might be too cold. And I think Cincy right now is the riding high off that win, because that was a really good win.
Yeah. So
I'm gonna go with Cincy for the upset. I think Cincy will be upsetting them.
Okay. So to be honest, Tennessee is a surprise number 1 seed for me. I didn't even realize they were going to be number 1 seed till like the season was about to wrap up, and I was like, oh wait, they're number 1. So that was a surprise for me. I think a big reason it was a surprise for me was Derrick Henry going down, and going down early. Like, it's not like, oh, he just missed the last 2 or 3 games. Like, I think he missed like half the season, and they overcame that. That being said, man, I just really like what Joe Burrow is doing over there. I love the connection with Jamar Chase. Tyler Boyd steps up when he needs to. So does T. Higgins. And then you got Joe Mixon at running back. I like what Cincy's doing. I gotta pick them. So Cincinnati, I think we're equal in all of them so far, right? We're
you know what? Depending on our last one, I might switch my pick to Tennessee just so we can be different.
Okay.
And just so I can give you a chance,
Okay, yeah. Okay, the last one is the Rams, Tampa Bay. I am sticking with what I said last week. It's the year of the dog. Matthew Stafford. I'm gonna pick the LA Rams. That's the only reason why.
All right, well, then that's the case. Then I am going for Tennessee, because I'm also going for the Rams. So, switch my choice to the Tennessee Titans. I like Cincinnati, but I can tell you the truth. If I had to choose between these two, I have a lot more confidence with the Rams, because I honestly feel McVay, I don't think his back is against the wall. right? Because he's safe. He's honestly, to me, he's going to be that coach for the Rams for at least another good 10 years. Like, he's just
and rightfully so.
Yeah, he's really good. He's been doing this without number one draft picks for like the last 2 years, like, and he still keeps the team relevant. But I'm gonna go with Matthew Stafford getting that energy from that first win, his very first playoff win. I think he's gonna ride it out, and then tell you the truth, if he goes all the way, he's gonna be the Super Bowl MVP. Just because that's how I think he's gonna start getting. If he does this win, he's gonna keep getting hot and carry that all the way to the NFC Championship. And then actually, I think would he be? Yeah, they would end up hosting if our picks work out. If Green Bay loses to San Francisco and the Rams beat Tampa Bay at Tampa Bay, the Rams would end up hosting the NFC Championship. So I'm gonna go with the Rams.
Is correct. Yes. Yeah.
I'm gonna go with the Rams as my pick and switching my Cincy pick to Tennessee just so we can be different.
Yes. Yeah, man. Look, people have been saying it for years that Stafford is not MVP, Hall of Fame caliber quarterback for the sort of stuff he's been doing all his career with Detroit. That has generally been like crappy. I mean, they had Calvin Johnson, and he retired relatively early, and they haven't really had much since. So it's great to see Stafford doing what he's doing with a new team. I like what you said about Sean McVay. I think he's the coach of the future. I think he's going to do numbers the way I can't remember the name of the coach, but there's a coach for Pittsburgh that I think was there for like 20-something years. I'm not saying that McVay is going to stay for 20-something years, just the nature of today's game. But I could see him being there for a very long time. Belichick's been at the Patriots for 23 years.
20 years, 21 years, I think.
Something like that. So, yeah, why not? And this is a bit of a rematch of sorts, right? It's McVay versus Brady. Again, it's the rematch of the Super Bowl that was held in Atlanta. That would be the year 2019 is when it was in Atlanta. So, no. Yes, 2019. So
how was the Tampa Bay win against Philly? Did they dominate them? I don't remember.
Yeah, it was a pretty dominant performance.
But
Philly got some points towards the end, but those are garbage points.
There was a point where the O-line, I think the O-line, if I'm not mistaken, one of their linemen went down. And that's when they started sacking Drew, because Drew Brees got sacked like I think 3 to 4 times at the end of the game. Like
Brees? You mean Tom Brady?
Not Brees, I'm sorry, Tom Brady.
Yeah.
He got sacked, if I'm not mistaken. You can correct me. Somebody in the comments could correct me if I'm wrong. I do believe Tom Brady was Tom Brady started getting sacked. And it was because the O-line started falling apart. And I don't think Philly's defense is anywhere near as good as the Rams defense. The Rams defense is so good that they're getting Raheem Morris some interviews. I think Raheem Morris is getting some interviews from what he did with the Falcons with the very limited amount of time that he had, the very limited turnaround that he was able to do with them. Plus, I think he's doing great things with this Rams defense that I don't know if he'll get a job. That, of course, is a different conversation for a different time. But I definitely think he's getting interviews based off of what the Rams doing. And then, because the Rams have always had great defense. Because remember, that Super Bowl, a lot of people found it boring, but it was a defensive struggle for both teams.
It was, yeah.
Because of two very good defensive teams. I honestly think if the O-line is as bad as it was at the very end of the fourth season throughout the whole game, Tom Brady's going to be getting sacked, and he's going to be taken out of his game element, which will put him over. And then I would definitely think that would be, because even though Matthew Stafford is doing great numbers and he had a very impressive game, I really do think that defense would win him the championship if they get that championship. So I got to go with the Rams on based off of that, especially if I'm not mistaken that O-line is very suspect for Tom Brady right now.
Okay, yeah. I mean, that's one to watch. Excited for this weekend. So to recap, Buffalo versus KC. We both picked Buffalo. Cincy versus Tennessee. I picked Cincy. You changed to Tennessee so we can have some separation. I appreciate that. San Francisco versus Green Bay. We both picked San Francisco. And then the Rams versus TB, Tom Brady, Tampa Bay. We both picked the Rams. So yeah, that's a short recording, and we'll check back in next week to see how well we did and how I caught up. It's a wrap.
All right.